Καλησπέρα σας.
Καλησπέρα σας.
Τι κάνετε, κυρία Μαρκάκη?
Καλά είμαι. Εσείς τι κάνετε? Θα αρχίσουμε σε λιγάκι. Ευχαριστούμε πολύ που ήρθατε.
Ο πρόεδρος του ΚΕΜΕΛ δεν θα μπορέσει να έρθει, γιατί είχε μια άλλη τηλεδιάσκεψη αυτή τη στιγμή. Εγώ έχω στείλει και την πρόσκληση και στους αξιολογητές και μπορεί κάποιοι από αυτούς να μας κάνουν συντροφιά. Αν όποιος έρθει θα σας στείλω ένα μήνυμα στο chat για να δείτε ποιοι είναι από το ΚΕΜΕΛ.
Ευχαριστούμε πολύ.
Τώρα σταματάω την πολυλογία και κλείνω το...
Καλησπέρα σας. Καλό απόγευμα σε όλους.
Καλησπέρα και από μένα.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everyone. We will start in some minutes. Thank you.
Καλησπέρα σας. Αδαμάτης Νικολόπουλος.
Καλησπέρα σας.
Καλησπέρα και από μένα, μ' ακούτε? Θοδωρής Βαγγένας τώρα.
Σας ακούμε, καλησπέρα.
Καλησπέρα και από μένα, Μαρκέλα Καράγιοργα. Καλή επιτυχία.
Καλησπέρα, ευχαριστούμε.
Γεια σας και από μένα, Τζέννη Λιβαδάρου. Καλή επιτυχία στα παιδιά.
Καλησπέρα, εγώ είμαι ο Γιάννης Σαμπούνης. Καλή επιτυχία σε όλους.
Okay, great. So welcome everybody, and thank you all for joining. We can start as more participants are joining the event as well. So we're very excited. Today is the Mindspace University Finals online pitching event. And once again, thank you for being with us. I am Mary Markaki, and I'm currently leading business development at Mindspace NPO. We are very excited about today's event, during which the best 10 teams that came out of the Mindspace University program will get the chance to present their ideas in front of you and in front of the judging committee, claiming 10,000 euros, free attendance to Mindspace trip in the USA, and access to major incubators and acceleration programs in Greece. Now, before we begin, for those of you who join us for the first time, let me give you some background. Mindspace is an organization that cultivates the entrepreneurial mentality in university students so as to empower them to take initiatives for their personal and professional development under the scope of volunteerism and business. Moreover, we implement actions to actually create networks of students, entrepreneurs, and academics at a national, Balkan, and international level. Now, that being said, this year, for the first time, we launched our first program, a fully online program, which is Mindspace University. And in fact, it is an educational, entrepreneurial, as I said, fully online 3-month program that actually is for students without an entrepreneurial experience or a business idea required. Now, we received more than 300 applications, and at the end, only 89 participants were selected to join the program so as to get the chance to watch 24 virtual online classrooms under the thematic area Entrepreneurship Basics, Energy and Digital Transformation. Out of this process, 31 teams were created from scratch, and these teams submitted their business ideas so that the top 10 teams, which you are going to see today presenting their pitches, got 3 mentoring sessions and a presentation skills workshop so as to improve their idea and present it today to all of us. Now, that being said, let me also take the chance to thank and present our judging committee for today that are going to evaluate the business ideas of the participants. And these are Marina Chatsopoulos, she's an entrepreneur and investor and a writer. Sterios Anastasiadis, he is an investor and also a founder and advisor at Sea and Sand Foundation. Kostas Baslis, he's Energy Management Director at Aeron Group. And then we're having Dimitris Kouletsis, he is the Head of Operations at the organization People's Trust. Adam Nikolopoulos, he is the CEO and founder of ADN Capital Ventures and an advisor. And last but not least, Evgenia Livadaru. She's an engineer for new technologies and innovation, currently leading the Department of Strategic Planning and New Activities at Hellenica Petroleum Group of Companies. Now, it's also very important to highlight the viable contribution of our partners, which supported us throughout the whole process. Of course, we had a very strong support from US Embassy in Athens, from the People's Trust, from Greek Energy Forum, which gave us most of the mentors of this program. Heron Group also was a vital contributor to this program with their mentors. And also Consulate General Greece in San Francisco with Daphne Vitsikounaki, who supported us in the whole process, and also Eurobank. Now, during today's pitching event, we're actually going to see the teams presenting their ideas for 5 minutes only, and then they're having 3 minutes to get up to 3 questions from the judging committee. At the end of the section, the judging committee, who are evaluating the ideas as they present, as the teams present them, will go to a private breakout Zoom room to decide for the final results. Now, we just want to focus today on the teams, the best 10 teams that have worked really hard on their business ideas. So without any further delay, we are going to the pitching section, during which the 10 teams are going to present us their business ideas. Now, that being said, let's start with the first team, Team Phoenix. So Team Phoenix consists of Zoe Drakopoulou and Georgiana Prokopu. Zoe and Georgiana studied chemical engineering at the National Technical University of Athens with a focus in energy. Their creative mindset and problem-solving skills urge them to create something on their own, and basically their ultimate goal is to help people understand how they can become more energy efficient. And that being said, they started Utopia. Zoe and Georgiana, we can see your screen, and you can start.
Okay, thank you. In Greek, Utopia describes a desirable ideal situation as a feasible goal. But what does Utopia mean to us? Our team shares the view that for energy-related issues, people should know how much energy they consume and how much money they spend in order to make the right decisions. Today, the problem that utility companies face is losing their clients. For the customers, less or more, all utilities are the same, and it is becoming easier to change their provider. In this brand new digital world, none of the utilities has offered yet a different energy experience that can engage the clients. In 2019 in Greece, approximately 600,000 customers changed their electricity provider, and a recent survey showed that 58% of the customers want a more personalized digital experience, which can increase the client satisfaction up to 28%. And what are we going to do about this? We offer utility companies an energy management app that they can provide to their clients. They will offer their customers a great energy experience, and they will get the most important thing, the client's loyalty. A key point of our app is its simplicity, as it doesn't require any bulky equipment, but only a smart meter. It uses a modern algorithm and machine learning. It disaggregates the energy load of each appliance of the house, and in this way, the user will be able to monitor his energy consumption. But how does our app add value to utility companies? First, we offer them data analysis in a non-intrusive way, and that means that they will get access to insights about users' energy consumption behavior, and based on them, they will deliver more targeted offers. Also, it will increase customers' engagement and reduce the service cost, because through the app, customers will buy additional products from the providers, so that is translated into lower cost of the call center. Last but not least, through this app, they will make a difference in the market, which helps both new customer acquisition and customer retention. The timing is ideal for 3 reasons. As I said, we need smart meters to implement our idea. And guess what? As a member of the European Union, our country will be shortly forced to buy and install smart meters. So we will take advantage of the situation and help the utilities get the most out of it. Also, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, people stay at home, seeking comfort and convenience, and have begun to adopt the ecological consciousness. A potential business model is an agreement with utility companies for a fixed amount of money per month for covering our fixed costs and for a variable amount of money per user per month. On this slide, you can see some indicative amounts. Firstly, the best fit for us is the medium-sized companies, because they need to keep their clients, attract new ones, and build their brand name among other utility companies. The market size of the medium-sized utility companies in Greece is 23 million euros. If we target a utility company with 160,000 customers with a share of 10%, our profit will be 400,000 euros per year. We will reach the companies via email, telephone, or LinkedIn and sell our product directly to them. This strategy requires low cost, and there is a great potential for scalability, as it is easier to find new customers after the first one. About the competition, we will be the first in the Greek market, while in the global market, there are companies similar to our own. The most successful example is Opower, which was sold to Oracle for $500 million. And this shows that there is actual potential for companies like us. So the question now is why to choose us? We will be the first to enter the Greek market, and also if some companies have already made steps towards digital transformation with their IT department, we offer the possibility of integrating our app with already existing apps. Finally, we are a startup with passion and commitment, so we can take over this project from scratch, focus completely on the utility company's needs, and grow together. In the next 3 months, we will hire a qualified and experienced CTO, purchase and install 20 smart meters to different houses, develop our software, reach out to utility companies, and test and improve our prototype with their employees. In this slide, you can see the cost distribution of our prototype. We estimate that the total cost will be around 8,500 euros. Thank you, and we remain at your disposal for questions.
Great, thank you very much, Zoe and Georgiana. Now we can take some questions from the judging committee. If anyone of the judging committee has any question, please raise your hand and I will give you the speech to unmute your microphone and ask any questions. As a reminder, we have time for 3 minutes for the questions in each team, and each team can get up to 3 questions within these 3 minutes.
Mary, sorry, I'm not sure if you saw my hand up. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So I'm curious, there are some global solutions, and my question is, for the customer, is there a benefit to having a local solution, or are those global solutions readily available?
Excuse me, can you repeat the question?
Yes, you referred to some competition in the global markets.
Yes.
Similar products. My question is, for the customer base that you're trying to reach, is there an advantage? How accessible are those solutions to the customers you'll be going after? And is there a benefit to them coming to you instead?
Yes, as we said, we will be the first in the Greek market, and the benefit is that if they have already made steps with their IT department and have already tried to build an app, we offer the possibility of plugging some features of our app into their already existing apps. So that is a selling point of us. And also, we are a startup, so we can focus on the utility company's needs and build this together based on their needs. I don't know if Zoe have something else to say.
No, I think that's fine.
So that's why they will choose us. We believe that they will choose us.
Yes, mostly because we're a startup and in the Greek market, so that we'll focus on the company's needs, as Juliana said, and grow together.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, girls. Now, next question is from Evgenia Livadaru, and then it's from Sterios Anastasiadis. Evgenia, please go ahead and unmute your microphone so that we can hear your question.
Hi, Zoe and Ariana. Great presentation. Thank you. One question from my end. How far is your algorithm developed, and have you tried this smart metering with devices in your households, or have you tested your technology in a small scale?
Okay, our algorithm is not ready yet, but we know that we will use a NILM algorithm, which means a non-intrusive load monitoring. And we haven't applied the application yet in our houses, but we think that
we want to in the next 3 months. That's why yes. We need to purchase and install the smart meters. The smart meters will collect the data and the
Sorry,
algorithm.
your time's up.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we don't have time for more questions for this specific team, because the time is up. So with no further delay, we're going to the next team, which is Team BESS, Big Energy Solutions, with their business idea juice backup solutions, consisting of Iason Raptis and Fivos Klimis. So Iason Raptis is a proactive undergraduate student in applied mathematics and physics sciences in Technical University of Athens, with strong achievements in his academic career so far, and keen on innovation, risk management, and consulting roles. Fivos is an undergraduate student in the Department of Geography and Geoinformatics at Harakopio University of Athens, and he has also strong computer skills, which he tries to utilize in order to help solve everyday life problems. Guys, we can now see your screen and you can start.
Thank you, Mary, for the introduction. Good afternoon, everybody. We're delighted to be here. As BES, we're revolutionizing the way people charge their electric cars by reinventing and develop a portable energy network. And to let me explain why our users would prefer to use our service every single day, I would like to share with you a quote by an unknown author. Life is supposed to be simple, but no one said it was supposed to be easy. We are bringing easy energy to you, minimize the charging time, and therefore to find a place to charge your car. Energy on the go. But before explaining you why, I want to share with you a very short example. Gas stations. Filling a gas-powered car is very simple, and the vast majority of people, they do it for years. They pay with a credit card or cash, push a button, and stick a standardized nozzle into the filler, and well, off to go, with vision to give that opportunity and to electric car owners, without having them to worry where. People today suffer from the complexity of their lives. In theory, charging an EV is simpler. Plug in a car and well, wait a while. So we have some options. Home charging. If you live somewhere with a regular 240-volt power, it is possible to recharge in just a matter of hours. But the reality is most people don't have high voltage power in their garage, and furthermore, charging of a standard 120-volt outlet can take several days. While this 240-volt plug is getting more and more affordable, home charging is not usually feasible for those who don't have a garage or live in an apartment complex. So you fall into this boat. How do you keep your car charged? Well, in 2021, charging stations seem to be popping up more frequently than update notifications about COVID-19 pandemic. So with a swipe of a credit card and a standardized recharge plug, charging should be easy and simple, right? Well, you see, not quite. First of all, there are dozens of companies who have the charging points. Each of them has their own account, their own payment method, and their own app. The complexity of it is chaotic. After the signing process with your phone, the charger should be available. But immediately we came across another issue. All these new manufacturers, they use the standard plug, the J7072. And if you not have your proprietary adapter with you, you're stuck with no electric power. Moreover, if you download the above and you are ready to charge, the waiting time is the next issue that came up. You don't have the ability to go on. Things can get worse when planning a trip. Energy backup solutions want to solve this issue, and I'm proud to introduce you to our portable energy network. Our network consists of individual drivers that deliver and pick up EV portable batteries. The trailer that is shown on your screens will be attached to our customer's car by us, making charging on the go reality. So using our application, we empower individuals to order a specific amount of energy in their location, or simply they can pick it up from a pick point. After logging in with us, we personalize your account fitting your lifestyle. With artificial intelligence, we can get notifications directly from your car if there is a need to recharge without even asking for it. You simply get a notification that the energy is on its way. To make everything simpler, when the charge is done, our drivers get notifications to come and pick the charger from you. Also, if you are near a pick point, you can drop it yourself. The payment process can be done through credit debit cards or Apple Google Pay. You see, with other charging solutions, you have to worry about a lot of things, but modern people, they need a faster and more unified solution. With BS, everything is centralized, everything is happening from one application, which is fast, very fast and easy to use. I want to tell you about the market now. We got into this because it's a huge market. The global EV battery market was valued at 35 in 2019, and is projected to reach about 135 billion by 2027. There is a plenty room for us to grow. And our number one competitor, SparkCharge, with a product called Rody. So you know what we're building and why we're building it. We're looking for partnerships and an amount of $100,000 that will be the push from us to develop. To make this a game-changer solution into EV charging process, we need market leaders to hear from us in order to bypass the regulations and the technical barriers. The charging trailer should bypass the safety mechanism in order to charge on the go, which is not impossible. But we also propose a second plan of selling these trailers as an accessory for EV, charging wherever you like as long as you have parked. So we have the team, we have the solution, we have a beautiful product, and we have the traction. If you are interested in helping us to develop and to make our vision possible,
we have one more
contact
minute
us to redefine the charging process of electric vehicles. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Team Bess. You also completed your presentation before the 5 minutes duration. So let's go to the section where the judges can ask questions. Please, if you have any question, raise your hand. I can see that Sterios Anastasiadis has a question. Sterios, please unmute your microphone so that you can ask your question.
Really good presentation, thanks. How are you going to develop the capacity as you onboard your customers, and how are you going to maintain those costs?
You will use the batteries that goes on the trailer, the same, let's say, big companies use, like Tesla.
True, but how many batteries will you purchase, and how will you maintain the capacity? How will you charge those batteries on your own? And like, what is that? Have you thought through the distribution costs and purchasing of inventory?
Yes, well, we have planned that trailer with the type with 8065 type battery. We estimate that we have 70,000 batteries inside the trailer, and we will produce it or buy or lease it from an outsource company that will provide us with these batteries. We won't produce them, but we want to buy it or lease it from that company.
Okay, great. And now we're going to the next question. Mr. Kostas Basilis, please unmute your microphone to ask the question.
Hello, thank you for a very interesting presentation. I just wanted to ask you if you have thought about the way, the approach of charging your batteries. Do you have a specific plan regarding the cost of it, or the origin, the source of energy charging the batteries?
Yes, in our network, we also have some pick points. Here, the drivers or the individuals can drop the batteries in order to charge. We want to make we want to cooperate with energy providers in order to get a discount. We have peak points in our network. This where batteries can be recharged.
Have you also thought that the option of renewable energy feeding your batteries?
Yes, but the cost of constructing these renewable sites will be very big, and we want to lower the initial
Sorry,
cost.
time's over. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Team Bess. And now we're going to the next team, Team Endeavour Analytics, with their business idea, Plan T, consisting of Eugenios Tsiganos, Memos Apladas, and George Roussos Ballas. They are three software engineers with a bachelor's and master's degree in various fields in computer science. And they have been friends basically from the university. Now their postgraduate studies and the fact that they have different interests complement each other and make them be more productive when working together. Moreover, they are very interested in helping the planet and in the environment, and that's why they joined us today with their project idea on how to contribute to our planet. Team Endeavour Analytics, we can see your screen and you can start.
Thank you, Mary. And good afternoon, everyone. We are the team Endeavour Analytics, and we are very happy to be here. We want to develop a service called Plan T. Plan T essentially tries to save the planet one click at a time. What is the problem we're trying to solve? Our little blue planet is dying right now. So how do we confront that? Carbon offsetting. Carbon offsetting has been proven to work. The market is booming right now. And most importantly, there is widespread adoption by industries. After all, the new US President, Joe Biden, as his first act of office, re-signed the Paris Agreement. But any efforts until now have been fragmented. We want to unify them and make it as easy as a click for anyone to help. So fundamentally, what we're working on is tree planting as a service. For example, think of when you order takeout in eFood. There is a button at checkout to donate to the homeless. This can be a button to plant a tree with your order to offset the delivery. Every online service could use Plan T to counterbalance any negative externalities. Will companies want to integrate with our service? Yes, we actually went out and asked, and they answered overwhelmingly positive. Why wouldn't they? It costs nothing for them. It shows that they are environmentally conscious and raises customer satisfaction because the customer relates the feeling of helping with the company. And big corporations are putting serious money in it too. Last year, Shell committed $300 million and 1 cent per liter of fuel to nature-based projects for carbon offsetting. So let's say our goal is successful. Will we make any money? Of course, we can clearly see the trend. The offset market has more than tripled over the past 3 years, and it is estimated that the 2050 addressable market size is huge at $200 billion. As for e-commerce, the global market is worth a whopping $9 trillion. The Greek market that we could tap is worth 4 billion euros with an 8% rate of growth. As for the trees themselves, just in 2020, 72 million trees were planted. And we want a part of that pie. We are going to be the facilitator and get a 20% commission on every tree purchase, which can be increased as we scale. Through a 50 people survey that we did, we found that 35% of people are willing to press the button when presented with a choice, and willing to spend 10% of the amount of their purchase, on average €2, to offset its carbon cost. at least once per month when it comes to food delivery, almost every time when it comes to a taxi service, and every time when it comes to airline tickets. For an additional case study, we use the fact that Ryanair sells their eco tickets at a premium very successfully. So if we integrate a market player like a big Greek food delivery app, we estimate that the 100K distinct views will amount to 35K clicks a month and a 168K net profit per year. And that's just one integration. Think of how many more potential segments there are. We have to mention that in the US, there are services that offer tools to achieve carbon neutrality, and they have been very successful. Namely, Carbon Click recently closed a seed round of $1.3 million. We want to take it a step further. We believe that offsetting with a tangible solution, rather than general offsetting, will be a loved solution by people. What we want to offer is seamless integration that removes the barrier to entry, such that everyone from Amazon to the guy that knits and has a colorful socks e-shop can use our service and have their customers plant their own trees. And of course, the most important thing is this. We want to be ready for upcoming legislation that is going to legally require carbon offsetting and attain the ability to issue certificates. Why should you actually support this? Well, after being mentored by the wonderful people here in Mindspace, we stripped down our idea and optimized it, after many pivots, of course. In the beginning, we too had our mind set on a very complicated idea that probably required millions in funding to work. This does not. It's proven that companies want this. We have the skills to implement it, can come to market fast. It's a scalable solution. Would you press the button to plant a tree? Thank you for your attention.
Great, thank you very much, Team Endeavour Analytics. And now we're going to the questions from the judges. If anybody has a question, please raise your hand so that you can ask a question, Team Endeavour Analytics. Great, Mr. Adam Nikolopoulos has a question. Please feel free to unmute your microphone.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It's a fascinating concept, and your service is very much needed. Can you talk to us a little bit about your customer base and how you envision generating revenues and how you're going to approach your first customer to establish traction?
Yeah, of course. Do you want us to elaborate on the financials or how we will get customers?
Just how you're going to get your first customer and establish and prove your model, your revenue model.
Okay. So we already contacted many companies, and they were very receptive to our requests because, as we said, it's very beneficial to them. And they were actually, like, very big companies like Delivery Hero actually were planning to build a solution like this. So our job was not that hard. We just pitched them and they said, good work, we would like to integrate your product. So it's not, of course, in practice, it's not going to be this easy, but the feeling is there and the market wants it. And of course, we're going to pitch to businesses, starting from small businesses and leading to larger ones.
And how about pitching to big polluters like airlines or trucks or container ships or shipping companies that use bunker fuel?
Thank you. For customers like that, the customer survey that we did shows that, I'm sorry, that's the different question. In the beginning, we're going to start our model with B2B2C. And then afterwards, after we have built our pipeline, then we're going to pitch for B2B solutions, for even internal company use.
Okay, great. Thank you for your answer, Eugenios. And now we are also having a question from Mr. Dimitris Kouletsis. So please unmute so that you can ask your question.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
It was a great presentation. I have a question regarding the planting of the trees. If who's going to plant the trees that you going to receive money for?
Okay, thank you for the question. We have two choices in the matter. We can either use existing services and just funnel our requests through them for a lower markup, or we can create our own relationships to bring down cost. We plan to utilize the first option in the beginning and build relationships, and then eventually be independent.
I'm sorry, there's no time for more questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Team Endeavour Analytics, for your presentation. Now we're going with the fourth team, Team Greek Geeks, with their business project, High Soul Charger. Meet the founders of Neptune, Despina Hadji, Argyro Kurtidou, and Anna Maria Mamouni. Despina and Argyro have a bachelor's degree in economics and Anna Maria in philology. They have decided to enter the business world, and they have working really hard with this business project. Girls, we can see your screen and you can start.
Hello, everyone. Have you ever wondered what's the have you ever been outside desperately searching for a place to charge your phone? Have you ever wondered what's the purpose of your half-empty Coke you're away in the trash? Neptune has got the answer for you. The problems that we are trying to solve are high CO2 emissions that are the main cause of global warming, the anxiety that people get when they are running out of battery, and the liquid waste that has no purpose other than just being waste. So we came up with a solution. As you can see here in the slide, we have created the High Soul Charger. It is a public charging station which utilizes the hydroelectric energy coming from the liquid waste that people throw into it. For example, they leftover coffee, tea, orange juice, etc. This energy will power the chargers that people will use to charge their phones. Around the High Soul Charger, there are going to be 2 half-circle benches for people to wait while their phone is charging. On top of the machine, there is going to be a screen display for a green advertisement, a trash can for people to throw away their empty containers, a free Wi-Fi hotspot, and an application that comes in with the use of the High Soul Charger. We wanted to see if our idea is going to have an impact on our end users. So we created a questionnaire that 102 people around Greece and at ages between 15 to 50 plus years old gave us answers. The responses that stood out to us were that 68% of the respondents don't use power banks, 94% of them consume drinks when they are outside, and 89% of them would be interested in using our High Soul Charger. It is important to mention here that our customers are going to be municipalities, malls, businesses, universities, and airports. So when it comes to our revenue streams, there are going to be the money that we will get from customers who will choose our leasing option, but also those who will decide to pay the full price. Another revenue stream is going to be the money that we will get from our green advertisement and also the containers that we will collect from our trash can and sell them to recycling companies. Regarding our go-to-market roadmap for 2021, we are currently trying to win 10,000 euros through the Mindspace challenge in order to create a prototype in February. From March until May, we will try to raise 200,000 euros and attract customers using our marketing strategies. In June, we will hire qualified employees. From July until September, we will develop our product, and in October, we will launch our High Soul Charger. About our marketing strategies, we will send biodegradable brochures and emails to potential customers. We will offer them 30 days free trial. We are aiming to get featured in a major publication, get advertised to social media, and use the face-to-face marketing. About our competitors, there are companies that sell regular chargers, power banks, charging stations, and solar charging stations. But what discriminates us from them is that we provide 100% battery life, only 30 minutes. We use hydroelectric energy to charge the phones. We prevent people from getting hacked. We use green advertisement, and we also support the circular economy. About our global market size, it is important to mention that there are 4.9 billion people around the world that use mobile phones. The total revenues of our market back in 2017 were $18 billion, and it is estimated that by 2022, the revenues will reach at $25 billion. This is our team, and our vision is to protect our environment as much as we can with our product, and we are aiming to expand to other renewable energies. Finally, about our financials, we have estimated our projected net profit for the next few years. As you can see here, we are aiming to increase our revenues year by year because we will gradually expand our sales in all over the world. If you want to come in contact with us, you can email us or visit our website, but you can also find us on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Despina and Team Greek Geeks. I can see that there are questions from the judges. Marina, please go ahead.
Thank you. Really nice presentation. This sounds almost magical. Can you explain the science behind this? So you're pouring a liquid in and that's going to generate electricity? Can you explain?
Yes, people will throw in their liquid waste, their leftover coffee, orange juice, etc. And it will create hydroelectric energy, which this will be used to charge the phones.
Thank you, Despina. And we have also one question from Mr. Stergios Anastasiadis.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. Good positioning. One big question that I have is what happens when there's no liquid availability? Like, how confident are you that the charging stations will be always operable?
When we'll install our high-sol charger, we will make sure to have the minimum capacity inside there just to be able to work. And then afterwards, people will be able to throw in their liquid and it will again work.
So you guarantee like 100% uptime all the time. So when I need to charge.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Great. And one last question from Mrs. Jenny Livadaru.
Hello from me. Sorry, I was muted. One question from me. So there must be some sort of pyrolysis happening in your machine. Are there any security issues?
What do you mean by security issues?
Safety issues, I'm sorry. So there's pyrolysis, there is fire, there is some emissions, of course, while you process the liquid in order to produce energy.
Yes, we are sure that there won't be any problem in that, but if something happens and there's a problem with our high-sol charger, we will make sure to replace it with a new one.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Team Greek Geeks. And now we're going to the next team, which is Team Fuel Bank with their business project, Lefine. Yannis Depastas and Vasiliki Peraki, they are both graduate engineers and they have business experience already. Vasiliki is a chemical engineer with specialized in energy and waste management, while she's also running her small fashion brand business, and Yannis Depastas is a computer and electrical engineer and a general manager at a boutique hotel in Sifnos Island. Yannis, we can now see your screen, so you can start.
Okay, thank you. Hello everyone, Lefine here. And since I'm general manager in the hotel industry, guess what? I'm about to tell you how we are gonna transform this industry from the linear model we all know to a circular and more sustainable one. But we have a problem. Not only lots of old unsustainable hotels are working with a linear model, but also new ones doesn't have the money to be totally green. And of course, money to obtain new eco-friendly devices. Finally, and most importantly, regulation enforces new hotels to be carbon neutral. How we know these are real problems? We have talked with general managers who lead successfully more than 16 hotels in all these regions, which, by the way, are our target market. But we not only save money for our customers, we also help them earn even more by obtaining, attracting new eco-conscious customers who then contribute to spread the hotel's fame after their stay. But okay, we are making money for our customers. How are we gonna make money for ourselves? Let's see the numbers here. Assuming we're having 15% market share, which is 50 hotels more or less, and with the majority of them being seasonal hotels, we are about to have total revenues like €500,000. Of course, this net income, the net income is lower than that, as you can imagine, because we are having to invest in many things. First of all, the AI dashboard and the smart meters and remote devices. Secondly, small appliances like lamps, hair dryers, iron. And finally, large appliances like air conditioning, heating, kitchens, laundry machine, refrigerators. We are offering these devices as a service, named it leasing or product as a service. So, first step is to install smart meters and remote control systems, which then send all the data to an AI dashboard inside the hotel. With AI assistance, suggestions and fine tunings are being made in order for the devices to be energy optimal. We are the only who are creating this hybrid model, software and hardware. I know you are extra curious, so am I. So let's go and see what's happening inside the dashboard. As you can see, we are having a lot of measurements and a nice UI. We can see the energy consumption and the cost for each device separately and for every single room. And of course, our code 2 emissions and future predictions. So depending on the carbon footprint reductions we achieve, we have three major plans. Charging only a portion of the money our customers save. For example, €8 per month per room for an all-year hotel. Can save €12 for our customer. But even if the hotels are not willing to make the transformation, they will have to, because in national level, there will be massive regulatory changes in carbon footprint, circular economy, and biodiversity. And that's really important for the beautiful country like this one, don't you think? Of course, EU funding accelerating this transition. So we are making partnership with businesses, offer ESPA consultation, and we together are offer an all-in-one, I would say, hassle-free solution for the hotels. All in all, we start small and lean, but looking to the future, we promise to accompany our customers to their holistic green transformation and make them stand out. But most importantly, to make the people more eco-conscious and the planet a better place to live on. Let's do it.
Great. Thank you very much, Yannis, for the presentation and Team Furybank. Now let's see if we have questions from the judges so that you can further elaborate on your idea. I can see that we're having one question from Mr. Sterios Anastasiadis. Please go ahead.
Good presentation, Yanni. just curious, how are you actually saving the hotel on carbon costs? Is the model strictly around replacing their inefficient devices with more efficient ones? Is a one-time and then an ongoing thing? Can you elaborate a bit on how the savings actually surface?
Okay. We are, as I said before, through the AI dashboard, we are making suggestions and fine-tuning of these devices in order to work optimally. Secondly, yes, we can change the old-fashioned and energy-consuming appliances with new and higher class and less energy-consuming appliances. That's the concept of the circular economy, not to put the appliance to the waste, but refurbish, repair, and put it again in the market. So that's the model, yes. And if the hotel is brand new, we are working with the ESPA consultation to find the best solution and give them, of course, appliance from the beginning.
Great, thank you very much, Yannis. Mr. Kostas Basilis has also a question. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you for the presentation. Very interesting. I just want to ask you, how do you monitor the performance of the appliances? How do you connect to them, or how do you read the consumption, the patterns of usage in order to perform the AI algorithm processing?
Okay, we are placing smart plugs to the appliances like air conditioning, refrigeration, etc. And then smart meters smart meters inside the electrical installation of the room. Okay, and a smart meter for thermostat.
Is that cost effective? Putting these smart plugs, smart meters, I mean, it has a cost attached. Does it pay off?
Yes, it pays off. Of course, it pays off, and the subscription model will be 2 years. We want our customers to have the flexibility, but we want to have the money back. Yes. The cost is not very high. It's not very high. It's not more than 100 euros per room.
Thank you. Time for questions is over.
Great. Thank you very much once again, Team Fuelbank, and good luck. Let's go to the next team. It's Team Zeus with their business project Pure. Konstantinos Papadopoulos, Yannis Apergis, and Themis Varelas. So Konstantinos Papadopoulos has worked for Google and Microsoft, and he studies business administration in the Athens University of Economics and Business, having also many achievements in startup competitions. Yannis studies chemical engineering at the National Technical University of Athens, and he has done some research on the durability of aluminum alloys, while he has some experience in small management. And finally, Themis is an electrical and computer engineering student, and he has also created a pre-launch website for their project Pure. Now, Team Zeus, you can start your presentation. Team Zeus, can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
We can hear you, yes. You can start.
Great. Sorry for this. Now that you've met Yannis and Themis, I want you to meet Manos. Now, Manos is a regular Greek guy that recycles frequently. He has a distinct rubbish bin to throw recyclables, washes them before he discards them, and then goes out of the recycling bin to throw them away. But little did he know that the vast majority of plastic he throws away do not go for recycling. Instead, end up to the landfill or get burned. In fact, only 2% of them get recycled. And for us, that's so disappointing. I mean, isn't it? But let's take a step back altogether. Do you really call recycling an innovation? Let's be clear. Recycling only solves a symptom of waste, but not the root cause of it. So the question for us became, what's the root cause of waste? And where we landed was using something once. Since 50%, the half of plastic waste is from consumer goods and packaging, we decided to create Pure. This is where Yannis, Themis, and I come in, and the idea is simple. An interactive online store that sells your favorite products in reusable packaging. And let me say that again, your favorite products in reusable packaging. I will now explain to you how it works. First, you shop in our online store. You receive your products right in front of your doorstep inside our beautiful Pure Talk, which I have right here. After consuming them, you request a free pickup, and we then take these products, refill them, and take them back to the market. Now, let me explain to you how businesses are going to trust us. To do this, I want to introduce you Panos. So let's suppose Panos is the CEO of Nestlé. Panos recently learned that the European Union passed a regulation which says that by 2030, all plastic packaging placed on the EU market should be reusable or easily recycled. He will lose lots of money if he doesn't comply with these regulations. And Panos cannot build a logistic network from scratch to sell his products and get them back for refilling and reuse. But now Panos has learned about Pure. And can you see how happy he is? And Panos is not the only one who has realized that the threat is coming. The brands you see next to me have already joined the reusability wave as well. In fact, the whole world is rapidly changing towards reusability, and Greece should not be left behind. Pure comes to the rescue and offers brands an easy way to introduce the reusable products, gaining all the benefits we mentioned before. And of course, there is a market for it. Congratulations to Yannis for making the research here. Online supermarkets are growing. Reusability is growing, and we are combining both. So will we. Our serviceable, obtainable market is around 800 million euros. Now, how are we going to take advantage of the market? I want you to take a close look here. Actually, I'm just kidding. Let me show you our actual financials. Our revenues will amount for over 1 million in the third year of operation, having managed to break even just before the second year. We will manage to get every customer for around 6 to 8 euros, and our profit margin will lie around 16%. Our go-to-market strategy is crystal clear. All social media channels and online advertising, and being proactive, we studied all conversion rates and average basket sizes for each and every one of these channels. Now, we're not here just to throw numbers at your face and say that's it. We have to kindly request you for something that's $173,000. Of course, carefully allocated across our needs, like you see in the graph. But please do not forget that we don't just need an investor. We ask for an advisor above all, someone who can consult us along the way, because we indeed want to make Pure work. Now, this is a roadmap. We will launch our partnerships with selected personal care brands, and our second year we will expand to other product categories. In the third year of operation, we are planning to expand to local supermarkets, and from 2024, we want to be able to own our logistic network. Of course, there will be barriers along the way, but we are ready to confront them. Some of them include complex logistics, reducing the theft of high-value packaging, and achieving economies of scale fast to reduce heavy investment needs. And I will now wrap up, but I will dedicate the remaining time to tell you what we have already done to make Pure a reality. So Themis has already built a website and managed to get over 200 subscribers/clients that are now waiting to get a notification for when we launch our startup. We have 2 publications in Kathimerini and Tovima that have been approved and will be published in the beginning of next week. And last but not least, we have the honor to partner with an official advisor, Mr. Siokas, who will be guiding us with his entrepreneurial experience. We kindly welcome you to join us in this beautiful trip of making pure a reality. We are Team Zeus, and we thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Konstantinos, for the presentation and Team Zeus overall. Now let's see what our judges have to ask, so to better understand Pure. Yes, I can see that Mr. Anastasiadis has a question. Mr. Anastasiadis, please go ahead.
Great presentation. I love the interactive nature of your talk. I'm just curious, what happens from the pickup at the door back to the originator of the the recyclable items? Like, what can you describe a little bit the handoffs? Is there cleaning happening? Just to understand a little bit, just the cost that will go into your setup.
Yeah, for sure, and that's a great question. Actually, the gold standard for disposing your rubbish is similar to the disposable packaging. So we want the customer to make as minimum effort as he can to begin with this whole process. So the process is as follows. He books an appointment in his app and requests a free pickup. And the only thing he has to do is, after using a product, just place it back to this beautiful pure dot. I have to show it to you. So yeah, he places just back, requests the pickup, and give it to the delivery man. We collect it and then return it back to the manufacturers for refillment. I hope I answered your question.
So you don't do anything to the product. You hand it right back. So you have, I guess, labels on the products because they can be from different different sources and so on. So you track all that.
Yeah, exactly right. You're exactly right. The packages and the products are going to be branded. And as you show in our roadmap, we are planning to expand on supermarkets. So we can't avoid that, and we don't want to avoid that. I mean, we want to take advantage of the awareness that these brands have.
Great, thank you, Konstantinos. And one last question from Mr. Nikolopoulos. Please go ahead.
That's an excellent presentation, great energy, and you're addressing one of the biggest problems, and your approach is brilliant. But walk us through the simple logistics, kind of the end-to-end, and how you're going to persuade the large branding companies, the consumer goods, to basically give up their logos, their packaging, and all these things, and convert them into generic products, something that, on refill packages.
Yeah. Thanks for the question once again. So the process is as following. The manufacturer manufactures the product, gives it to our warehouse. We advertise it in our online store. The consumer makes the order. He requests the order, which comes in the tote. He takes the product, consumes it, brings it back to the tote, and then requests a free pickup to leave it back empty. So that's actually the whole logistics process till up to the customer. We then take it back, bring the tote out, differentiate the products, and send it back to the manufacturer that they belong. That's the whole logistics process. And did I miss something? An additional question? Did you make another point?
Your time's over for questions. I'm sorry. Thank you.
I did actually. Okay, I'm sorry. No time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Team Zeus, and good luck. And now we're going to the next team, which is Team Powerful, with their business project, Green Bean. Now, Thanos Soukaras is a senior undergraduate physics student with an interest in high energy physics, as well as music and filmmaking. Adonios Tsakoudakis is a medical student, really interested in economics and programming. And last but not least, Stella Bozi is a computer and electrical engineering student, loves sketching and, of course, volunteering opportunities. They met for the first time during Mindspace University online program, and they are presenting to us Green Bean. We can see your screen, so you can start.
Hello, everyone. We are so happy to be here. We want to thank Mindspace for having us. Thank you, esteemed judges, for giving us an opportunity to tell you all about our idea. We know we only have 5 minutes, and we're going to do our best to give you a full impression of what we have created in these few weeks in the Mindspace University online program. We're going to tell you all about Green Bean and why you should vote for us to win the cash prize, go to Silicon Valley, and make this real for Greece. Recycling in Greece is poor, to say the least, and that's due to the low performance of recycling centers, which receive household recyclables. Recycling centers of the Hellenic Recovery Recycling Corporation, or HERCO, landfill the recyclables instead of actually recycling them. Therefore, they are responsible for the conservation of 52 massive landfills in Greece. We look terrible in front of the EU, and we pay huge penalties because of it. That has a lot of big negative impact on the Greek economy. I want to solve this major problem. Stella and Adonis want to solve this problem too. And we've come up with an idea that we firmly believe is going to work. We look to revolutionize recycling. By visiting our website, you'll be able to set the date, time, and place for us to come and collect your well-sorted recyclables. Now, we know that not everyone in Greece is high-tech. Well, you can set our meeting to collect your recyclables just by making a phone call. When we collect your recyclables, we store them in our warehouse, and then we deliver them and sell them to recycling companies. It is just that simple. Now, I'm going to hand this off to Stella to tell you how we're going to make all this sustainable.
Thanks, Thanos. All right. We know that if we don't make money from this, it's not going to happen. And if we don't reward people to do their part, it's not going to happen either. Here's the plan. We've searched and found specific stores which could be our partners. They will give us discount coupons in exchange for bringing in new clients. These coupons will be given to citizens who have supplied us with a specific quantity of recyclable materials. So what do we do in our first year? We hire developers to create our website. We rent a truck, a small warehouse, and a basic equipment. And of course, we advertise on social media. In our first year, we all work as volunteers. We target to minimize our expenditures. Now, we have to find some revenue streams to make money. The collected recyclables will be delivered and sold to trustworthy recycling companies. You can see a variety of them in this slide. This is our main source of income. We get a fair price for the well-sorted and clean recyclables. Take a few seconds and look at this slide. We've estimated that we'll make around 300 to 400 euros per year from just a single household. We also aim to get funds or grants from the Greek government and potentially from the European Union, since we solve a big financial problem, but also help Greece meet the European Union standards in recycling. This could be a huge revenue stream. We analyze the market and our competitors. We know how they do their business, and we are going to do things way better. Why will someone choose us? Because we make recycling effortless, rewarding, efficient, and trustworthy. Join us and join the Green Bean project to get rid of the recycling problem in Greece, a huge embarrassment for our country. Let's get a recycling program going that really functions. Thank you.
Great, thank you as well, Team Powerful. Let's see if we are having any questions from the judging committee. I see that Dimitris Kouletsis has one question. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. It was great. Are you expecting first of all, are you targeting households or small businesses to collect their recyclables, or both?
We target both of them.
Both of them. So you're expecting them to sort out the recyclables by themselves, or will you be doing it like municipalities with the blue kadus where we throw everything in?
No, we have planned we want to make every household recycle. And we believe that by actually giving them a bin, which can actually sort the materials in real time, is very helpful. That bin, to be accustomed to the environment of every house, will be a very beautiful design bin. So they will sort their recyclables on their own. Now, the size of the bin is custom. Now, for a large business, it can be a very big bin.
I think that you will be needing 4 bins per customer if they're gonna do the separation themselves. Metal, paper, glass, and stuff like that.
Yes, that's something that we have thought of. If we have, there are bins in Greece here that have actually certain sorting ways. So there is a basic bin when you can throw your waste, and around that bin there are 5 parts for actually for paper, plastic, metal, glass, etc. So we look to get rid of the main part and just keep the 4 sorting categories for our bin.
Okay, great. And one last question from Mr. Adam Nikolopoulos. Please go ahead.
Thanks. Another fascinating target, managing or treating this huge environmental and social problem of recycling waste. Two questions. Have you looked at the economics of collecting and recycling waste versus the landfilling of waste, which most of the waste is being landfilled, at least in Greece, as you correctly pointed out? Number one, and the second issue is the shortage of recycling centers, because not much capital has gone into these recycling centers. It's not so much collecting and separating the waste, but it's basically being able to process the waste. Thank you.
Thank you. It's an excellent question. And look, the prices for recyclables vary, and that is actually connected with both of your questions. Until now, we have come across evidence that suggests that an export to Turkey is possible and may be economically sustainable for us. So we're not sure if we're going to give them or sell them to Greek companies. So an export is possible. Now, for like we said in the presentation, there are around 300 to 400 euros per household. So there are around 300,000 households in Thessaloniki where we look to actually start. And if we just may meet half of them, we're looking to around 60 million in revenue.
I'm sorry, your time's over.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Team Powerful. And now we're going to the next team, which is Team Igem Thrace, with their project Salika. So they are a multidisciplinary research team from Democritus University of Thrace, and they are representing here in Mindspace University Igem Thrace with their 3 team members. Theodora Tsoumanika is an environmental engineering student. Andreas Maniatopoulos is a PhD candidate in artificial intelligence. And Alexandros Kouris, who is pitching their project today, is a student in molecular biology and genetics. We can see your screen and you can start, Alexandros.
Salika, this is our project. We will start from an alternative perspective towards the environment. We're pretty sure that everybody here knows someone who has experienced cancer, right? The cost of cancer care is the fastest growing component of healthcare spending in the US. Colorectal cancer is the 3rd leading cause of cancer death in young adults in the US, and the 2nd in Europe. Whereas the total treatment cost for colorectal cancers in the US is about $14 billion per year. What's more, it is recommended from the age of 45 to have a colonoscopy every 10 years. Something that does not usually happen. Last but not least, As we can see in the diagram, from 2012 through 2016, the incidence of colon cancer has increased every year by 2% in people younger than 50 years old. So there is an emerging need for screening young people as well. Now let's see the value of early detection. Since 1950, we have achieved 70% decline in cervical cancer incidence and deaths in developed countries thanks to a simple screening test, the PAP test. Cancer stage at the time of diagnosis has a strong influence on the length of survival. As you can see in the diagram, the earlier is got, the better the chance of surviving 5 more years, and the treatment is less expensive. Unfortunately, for colorectal cancer, only 38% are diagnosed at the local stage. Let's imagine that there was a way to test easily and inexpensively in a regular manner. Our home kit will make it possible to have a screening of the population that will lead to early diagnosis. You just collect saliva, not blood or stool, in the comfort of your home. You connect your phone with the device and you have the result without extravagant costs or undesirable procedures. But what connects healthcare with the environment? There are 2 components. Renewable energy sources and ecologically smart devices should be integrated in every industry. Our device will be solar powered, avoiding heavy metals and acids from batteries. And in addition, it can be used multiple times only by purchasing new recyclable cartridges. On the other hand, early diagnosis leads to treatment in the first stages, and thus reduces chemicals and radiations used in the therapeutic process, which have adverse effects in the microenvironment of patients and healthcare providers as well. All right, but who is going to buy our device? Meet Katie, who has a family record of cancer, but cannot afford checkups regularly. Me, that there is no way to have a screening test before 45 if I do not have an alarming event. And Lucy, who is above 45, but is afraid of hospitals. Only in the US, for 2021, there will be 150,000 new cases of colorectal cancer. And it's estimated that if 80% of the eligible population was screened at the age of 50, the number of colorectal cancer-related deaths could be cut by 230,000 in the US and by 200,000 in Europe. After creating a functional prototype, our first target will be insurance companies who will buy the device and provide it to their clients in order to detect cancer in early stages. Thus, they will avoid late-stage treatments that are a huge economic burden, while at the same time, they promote the well-being of the clients, ending up in a mutual benefit. Then, we will provide our kit directly to any individual or in pharmacies where patients will take the test without the need to buy the whole kit. Soon, we will get feedback to improve our device, and we will conduct clinical trials for other potential diseases as we're constructing a modular device by integrating AI and cutting-edge molecular biology techniques. And you may ask, why us? We're a multidisciplinary team consisting of 12 highly motivated and qualified individuals, from molecular biologists to electrical engineers. We have a supportive network consisting of mentoring from a well-known competition, as well as 2 scientific supervisors and support from our university. Lastly, we have achieved an extra competitive funding of 20,000 euros from European Commission's Erasmus Plus program, and we are determined to do whatever it takes to transform our idea into an impactful product. Thank you very much. We can proceed to Q&A.
Great, thank you as well, Alexandros, for the presentation. Let's proceed to the questions from the judges. Ms. Jenny Livadaru, please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, Alexandros. Excellent presentation and much needed application, I think. One question from me. What's the error on this device? So how can a user get a false result and then maybe has issue replanning his life before getting tested again? So what's the error in this device?
That's a great question. Our main focus is to make it as affordable and easy for anyone to use it without second thoughts of should I do some extra steps such as going to hospital or something else. But of course, we are really caring about the accuracy of the results. And we are using saliva, which is a really innovative approach. So we are aiming to have the less possible false negative results. And we don't really, it's better for us to have a false positive, for example, and thus it will make it possible for the customer to go for further evaluation from clinical doctors, etc. We are aiming not to have a false negative.
Do you have any statistics from research about saliva and the margins of error?
That's a great question as well. One reason that we selected colon cancer is because there is the best correlation between the biomarkers from saliva to cancer of the colon. That's the one reason that we selected colon. But beyond this thing, we can't say 100% that it works, and that's why we're integrating AI through a server that they are going to upload the data, and they will be correlated with clinical data from doctors in order to have the best possible accuracy and sensitivity, and to be sure that they are strongly correlated.
Thank you, Alexander.
Thank you so much.
Great, and I can see that we're having one more question. Please go ahead, Mr. Nikolopoulos.
Yes, great presentation, great solution to a huge need. Do you have any IP associated with your product, number one? And number two, do you manufacture the device yourself, or so are you a medical device company?
We are going to outsource the manufacturing process to other PCB manufacturing company. So we are finding we are creating the biological assays and the whole design and concept of the device, and we are connecting the data from our server with our patients and all the other procedures, but we are not manufacturing the product as it is.
So will you be in control of the costs of the device? How would you do that? And do you have the IP, the intellectual property associated and patents with the device?
When it comes to the IP, these techniques can be used by everyone. And our goal is that if we can find in the lab a way to make it more accurate and more sensitive, we will patent it. Till now, there is no limitations that will not make us able to complete our project. And when it comes to the
sorry, your time's over. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
Great, thank you very much, team Igem, Thrace, and good luck. Now we're going to the next team. It's Team Excel. So next are Vasilis and Evgenia. They are both chemical engineers, graduates of Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. Vasilis got his master's degree in petroleum engineering at Imperial College London, and after completing his thesis on carbon capture, he is basically very excited about working on business projects towards net zero. And Evgenia is a PhD candidate in the second year of her PhD. And she's actually very passionate about creating novel materials and transforming proof of concept into business plans. Team Excel, we can see your screen, so you can start.
In our project, Excel, we produce CO2 capturing sorbents made from waste eggshells for the heavy industry. 50% of global CO2 emissions are caused by heavy industries, namely power, cement, iron, and steel production. Governments are introducing rigorous carbon taxing plans for higher climate targets. The price of carbon emissions in the European Union is currently above 25 euros per metric ton. The US President Joe Biden announced that the US will rejoin Paris Agreement for higher climate targets, while Elon Musk promised to invest $100 million in carbon capture. The market of carbon capture is expected to grow from 1.6 billion in 2020 to 3.5 billion in 2025, with a compound annual growth rate of 17%. Already installed carbon capture utilization and storage technologies promise to bring substantial breakthroughs in the mitigation of CO2 emissions. However, these technologies primarily involve gas processing and fertilizer production. Imagine the immediate results we would be able to see in the mitigation of CO2 emissions if carbon capture was to be applied to the heavy industries producing 50% of global CO2 emissions. This is exactly what Excel is about. Our vision is to introduce a carbon capture technology to heavy industries and thereby have an immediate impact on CO2 emissions reduction. Our mission is to produce highly efficient, thermally stable, sustainable CO2 capturing sorbents from waste eggshells. Our target industries can become greener and reduce CO2 emissions costs. Our sorbents are introduced in a carbonation calcination loop installed at the exhaust gas stream of the heavy industry. During carbonation, the sorbent absorbs the CO2, and during calcination, the sorbent regenerates itself. The exhaust gas stream exiting this system is CO2 reduced, and the CO2 captured can be stored or further utilized. But why choose eggshell? Our product offers high efficiency. It is highly stable and has the ability to regenerate itself, which ensures a long life cycle. Our solution is sustainable both from material selection and operation point of view. We're using waste eggshells as feedstock, which introduces a circular economy, zero waste, low carbon footprint paradigm. There is no additional energy consumption required on location. The temperature range needed for the operation can be achieved via hot stream integration. Poultry farms, eggshell waste bins located at urban areas and food processing companies will be the collection points of our feedstock. The eggshells will be transported to our facility where they will be processed. The product, the sorbent, will be delivered to our customer, namely the heavy industry. Additional customer support will involve free personalized on-site consultation before the installation by experienced engineers who will be familiar with our technology. We will procure the eggshells at zero cost or at a value that will be lower than the landfilling cost our suppliers would have to pay for their waste eggshells. However, our main profit will derive from the sale of the sorbent and 40% of the revenues from the design and installation of the looping system. We are investigating the potential exploitation of captured CO2 that could be sold to other industries. So far, we have reached our laboratory scale proof of concept. Next are the protection of our intellectual property and legal establishment of our company, the design of upscaling via simulation software, the pilot scale production and first trial with the customer interested in our solution, which will provide us with valuable feedback that will help us optimize our product and upscale to industrial production. We have estimated the capital needed for each step of the process, as well as the time each step needs. If CO2 emissions are not reduced by at least 50%, the global average temperature will rise by 2 degrees Celsius by 2050. We have invested in so many solutions that make our daily lives easier, but it is time to invest in solving the one problem that involves everyone and needs drastic actions. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Vianney and Vasilis, for your presentation. Let's go to the questions. Mr. Vasilis, you can ask your question.
Congratulations for a very interesting presentation. You are addressing a really, really important issue. So the question is, in which form do you capture CO2? Is that gas? Is it content in a byproduct? And if the latter is true, do you attach a value to the byproduct in your analysis?
The carbon capture, the sorbent is in powder form, which can transfer from the calcination to the carbonation system. Furnaces. Also, there is a byproduct. It is collagen type X, which is in the membrane of the eggshell. In the future, we could implement this. We could implement it as a potential revenue stream by selling these membranes to pharmaceutical companies or cosmetics companies. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you.
Great, thank you. Ms. Livadaru, please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi, great presentation and indeed great application. Coming from heavy industry, I have some questions. If CO2 pricing goes, let's say, at 75 euros per ton, will you be competitive? Because this is where pricing is going to go. That's the first question. And second, do you have enough feedstock in eggshells in order to cover the CO2 emissions that heavy industry produces?
Actually, we waited for this question, so we prepared an appendix of a case study. Let's consider a power plant in Greece of 400 megawatts. This power plant would have to pay 8.5 million per year in CO2 emissions for taxes. Only for taxes. We have contacted some customers, and they say that only 1 to 2% of CO2 reduction could be efficient, but let's imagine that we have 10% capture. We would need 45 kilos of sorbent and 81 kilos of eggshells. But this is something we have calculated with a linear model. In reality, the sorbent can regenerate itself. So this is the sorbent that you would need, for example, for 10 days. So in reality, it covers many more megawatt hours than the amount you can see on the screen. So you can ensure your customer 300 extra hours of operation and 850,000 euros of CO2 cost saved annually.
For a price half you just mentioned. And about the second question, we contacted some food companies and some poultry farms, but we got an answer from the food companies that they don't use eggs from poultry farms, but they use pasteurized eggs in liquid form. So we're currently waiting for other industries to reply to our emails.
I see. Thank you very much. Very well prepared.
Thank you.
Thank you. Your time for questions is over.
Great, thank you very much, Team Excel. And now we're going to the last team, Team NDG with their smart thermostat. Georgios Grigoriou is a thermal energy storage engineer at Active Building Center Research Program at UK. He holds a master's degree in mechanical engineering from University of Thessaly and a Master of Science in Sustainable Energy Systems from University of Edinburgh. Ioanna Rousseau is a public relations manager at Youth Entrepreneurship Club and a founder at University Opportunities, while she has studied business administration at the University of Piraeus. And last but not least, Dimitra Haralabopoulou is a business analyst and developer at consulting Deloitte. And she holds a bachelor degree in business administration and information systems at Athens University of Economics and Business, and also a minor in business, in e-business and marketing in the American College of Greece. We can see your screen, Georgios, so you can start.
Meet Nikos. Nikos is a family man who lives in Thessaloniki. He's living in a poorly insulated house with an old and inefficient gas boiler, and he's tech savvy as well. Nikos, as a lot of Greeks, has a problem. He's paying a lot of money to heat his home, and he wants to find a low-cost solution that will allow him to reduce heating costs and provide comfort to his family. He wants to gain control, as he's stressed that because of COVID-19, he might pay higher heating bills as a result of being more hours at home. After hours of searching, he couldn't really find a low-cost solution. Confused and frustrated, he asked himself, what if I could have a low-cost service to control my heating system through my phone? But Nikos is not alone. According to our preliminary survey, 6 out of 10 people in Greece feel that they pay high heating and cooling bills, while almost all of them would like to control their heating system through their smartphones. Mainly because of poor thermal insulation, 100 euros per month is the average price that most Greeks pay to heat their homes. Entity Solution is a data-driven service that allows you to lease with the option of asset financing or purchasing a smart thermostat. But what is a thermostat? A thermostat is a control device that allows you to control your heating or cooling system by switching the supply on or off. Most Greeks have manually controlled devices with limited control capabilities. Their price is between 10 to 50 euros. A smart thermostat allows you to intelligently and comfortably control your thermostat and therefore your heating or cooling system through your smartphone, see your energy data consumption through your smartphone, and even integrate this system to other smart home systems like Siri or Alexa. Although their price is between 100 to 300 euros, NDG service will allow you to use a smart thermostat at the price of a conventional thermostat with just a monthly subscription fee. But how will Nikos save money? And what is the process? First, we will make a personalized digital analysis based on Nikos' home and heating habits. According to Nikos' situation, he can save up to 30%. Then, we will recommend the right packages tailored to Nikos' needs. According to Nikos' situation, the price starts from 7.99 euros per month, plus an upfront cost of installing the thermostat delivered to his door by our partner technician or engineer. To wrap up, Nikos can save up to 20% of his cost, including subscription and installation. He can enjoy the comfort provided by the smart thermostat, and he can even be environmentally friendly, as for Nikos' case, with an old and inefficient old gas boiler, he can have carbon savings as a result of energy savings equal to 100 kilograms of CO2 per year. So our business model is a data-driven reseller subscription model. We realize three different distinct elements for profits. The first one will be from the purchasing or leasing of the thermostat. We realized a 15 to 20% average net profit margin. Then the second one will be from the data. We will collect the data, reprocess them, and either provide them as an additional cost as a service, or we will develop additional services for our company, always conforming to the GDPR and ethical rules. Last but not least, we are open to establish strong partnerships with energy suppliers in order to diversify our portfolio of services. We believe that our service can be the starting point to pave and accelerate the way towards energy efficiency, decarbonization, and digitalization. Our competitive advantages compared to our competitors is the provision of a high-quality product, a smart thermostat, at a very low cost because of the subscription, as well as the collection and utilization of data. For our go-to-market strategy, we will launch our MVP on 2021, and after analyzing feedback from the MVP, we will finalize the product and launch it on 2022. For our marketing and sales strategy, we will base it on digital and green-oriented distribution channels. But an idea cannot be delivered without a strong and capable team. Our team consists of Ioanna, with a business background and experience in organizational activities, Dimitra, on the right, with a business and IT background and experience in consulting and automation services, and myself, a mechanical engineer with experience in energy efficiency and connected home technology. We believe that we have the right mindset and skill set to make this idea real. We are NDG, and we see a world going from the Internet of Things to the Internet of Buildings and visioning the Internet of Communities. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Georgios. This was the last team. So it's time for questions now. Mr. Anastasiadis, please go ahead.
Good presentation, good flow to your thinking. Just one question, you know, personally, I use the Nest app and I get like really great information on a weekly basis outside of the one-time cost. What would make me go into using a solution like yours?
Yeah, so what we will actually be doing is, apart from leasing thermostat, and also the flexible options, the other flexible options, we will acquire data conforming to GDPR and ethical rules, of course, in order to have data sets that will allow us to actually provide additional services to the customer as well, because as I said, the smart thermostat is the starting point. We will have a contract which will be 2 to 3 years, and then our idea, as I said in my vision in the last slide, is actually to establish more services to it. Retrofit as a service, for example, in order to include the very important energy efficiency measures. Then, after we have the energy efficiency measures, we need to have heat pumps, for example, in order to lead the way towards decarbonization. So the idea is to have a starting point and actually allow the customers to have more information and not replace, but supplement what the smart thermostat providers provide. That's our main goal.
Great, thank you, Georgios. And one last question from Mr. Nikolopoulos.
Yes, great presentation, fantastic product, and not so much. I had exactly the same question as Sergio, so I'm not going to repeat it. And I'm thanking Sergio for addressing it, because it seems to me that you're going against the big 900-pound gorilla, which is Google's Nest. But aside from that, I want to commend you on your ability to use product as a service, and this might work on other things in addition to just the thermostat or the smoke detector and other things. So please keep that in mind. There are other opportunities untapped besides the thermostat, which Google has already tapped into that, and I'm sure that you'll find other services. That's just a side comment.
Yeah, the idea is that we will start as resellers, because at the moment in time, most Greeks, especially in the northern region, don't really have a smart thermostat. And the thing is, we are talking about energy efficiency measures, for example, the energy saving at home program, where the thing is, people in Greece don't even have the fully control of their heating system at the moment. So what we propose is actually a starting point as resellers in order to accelerate the way towards the decarbonization of heating. Then, of course, our strategy is to have modular packages as well there.
Have you
For example, build our own thermostat.
Have you identified a thermostat which is extremely cost competitive compared to Nest, which can be priced much below the $100 or €100 mark?
I'm sorry, but time for questions is over. Thank you.
Great, great stuff. Thank you very much, team NDG. And with this team, the pitching section is completed. So now the judging committee will evaluate the results and decide for the 3 winning teams in a private breakout Zoom room. But in the meantime, for all of us here, we're very excited and happy because we're having with us today Lefteris Arapaikis. Lefteris actually founded Enalia, a startup that actively trains new fishermen, and he has also basically started a new initiative, the Mediterranean Cleanup Initiative, to tackle the issue of marine plastic pollution. Last but not least, Lefteris was this year's winner of Young Champion of the Earth Award by the UN Environment Programme. And why we're having him here with us today, except for all of these successes that he has achieved so far, is that he was also a Mindspace alumnus. He has participated in Mindspace Challenge in 2017 and also won the competition back then. So he also attended Mindspace trip in the US in that year. Lefteris, can you hear us?
Yes, pretty well. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Thank you very much for being here with us. So you have participated in Mindspace trip, in Mindspace programs, and after that you have such a successful career. So would you like to start by telling us some things about your participation back then in Mindspace trip, the knowledge and the networks you got introduced to, your experience overall?
Yes, Mary, that would be great. I think it's now a tradition that every year when the judges are deciding, I'm coming here to speak. First time online though, so that's exciting. Well, the Mindspace experience was pretty unique. Mary, if you want, I can also share screen and show some slides to the people about our story.
Sure, whatever works for you better. Sure,
okay.
Go ahead.
Maybe then I will present like some of the story, like what we are doing. And I will include also the Mindspace contribution, and then I will leave some time for question. I will be quite fast.
No problem, yes.
Okay, great. So let me know if share screen works.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, my name is Lefteris, and I am the co-founder of Enalia. Enalia is a social startup. We started back in 2017 when unemployment in Greece had exploded. We wanted to do something about that. And my family is a family of fishermen. They are fishermen for 5 generations, and I am the one that kind of break the tradition. I studied economics. So one day that I was discussing with my father, he told me that fishermen wanted to hire personnel and they couldn't find any. So I said, okay, with a friend, we decided to start Greece's first fishing school through Enalia. And this is what we did. Over the last 3.5 years, we have trained more than 110 unemployed people and created around 100 jobs in the country. But at the same time, I didn't have any experience about fishing. I think even today I'm Greece's worst fisherman, I think. So while we were designing the curriculum, we went on fishing trips to see the whole procedure. Here's a picture of our first trip in Cyclades. In this trip, I was shocked to see that fishermen were collecting from the sea not only fish, but also plastic, lots of it. So what got my attention was like a blitz cannon of soda drink, just like that, which had expired back in 1987. It was 30 years in the sea. So as I was looking at that, the fisherman took it from my hand, threw it back in the sea, saying, plastic is not our problem. Well, we figured out that it is. All the studies say that by 2050, there will be more plastic than fish in the sea. So we realized there's no use getting more fishermen out there if there will be no fish. So we started the pilots. We started training fishermen from our local port here in Keratsini to bring back the plastic they were collecting in their nets. The pilot was successful, so in 2019, we decided to create a new project called Mediterranean Cleanup. And now we are operating in 13 ports with 145 fishing boats, a total of 700 fishermen in 2 countries. We are all over Greece and in North Italy, and we are collecting around 4,000 kilos of plastic from the bottom of the sea every week. Plastics such as plastic bags, motorbikes, kid toys, whole boats that we collect and we restore. This is the same boat, left and right. Till today, we have collected more than 100,000 kilos of plastic from the bottom of the sea. I think we are the 3rd biggest open sea cleanup in Europe right now, actually. And just to take into consideration what it looks like, this is what a fishing boat brings in the port every night. So much plastic. But this is all the one thing that we do. The other thing is that we collect all this used fishing equipment from the 700 participating fishermen. The reason is that 20 to 30% of the total marine plastic pollution is lost fishing equipment. We see that in our catch, and it's the same with all the European data that we have. And not only that, but actually fishing nets is the deadliest form of plastic. Not only it breaks to microplastic, but it needs 600 years to break down. And for all this period of time, it keeps on fishing. We collect this kind of nets from the sea every week, around a ton of them. And sometimes they are filled with skeletons of fish and other marine mammals. It's really crazy. But what are we doing with this material? Well, we have a recycling network all over Greece with local recycling companies such as Blekados. So we collect this material and half of it is recycled locally in the country. And with the rest, we make products. We send the PET plastic, the plastic bottles that we collect, to a fashion company in Madrid, and they upcycle into jackets, t-shirts, and backpacks. And the nets that we collect from the sea and the ghost nets, we send it to an environmental organization called Healthy Seas, which facilitates that these nets are going to be upcycled into new products, such as swimming suits and socks. We collaborate with big foundations and big companies such as Lemos Foundation, Nestle, Pfizer. And also we have created our own lines of socks. So these are some of the socks that we have created from the nets that we collected from the sea. We have been featured in local and international media. And as Mary said, we got the Young Champion of the Earth Award, which is the highest environmental honor that the UN is giving to people 18 to 30 years old. And here's a picture from back in the days in 2017 when I was pitching for Mindspace challenges like you guys. So I think Mindspace was really a milestone for us because, first of all, it really introduced us to an amazing network of people, which led us to do all the things that we did, both in Greece and in the US. But it also helped us realize that we cannot actually rely on startup awards. So it was a clear realization we had after winning this award. That's why we haven't, and we don't want to participate in any other startup awards since then. Because it was very good to use this seed money, seed funding to start something. But then in order to make it sustainable, we had to create our own revenue streams, as I heard most of you guys are already planning. So what I'm trying to say is that I think Mindspace Challenge, it will be an amazing opportunity for all of you that you will grow, learn, network, and it will give you the opportunity in case you win that you can try stuff. But then I think it will kickstart your whole startup. I know that most of you are stressed and you are very tired of me talking all this time. So I've been in this place. So what I'm trying to say is that this whole journey that you're doing and that you are doing it online, so it proves that you are really motivated and you really want to change things. And I think through this procedure, you will learn so much stuff. So just keep an open mind, enjoy it. And thank you for listening. Sorry if I tired you.
Thank you very much, Lefteris, for the presentation. It was great hearing what an Aliyah and Mediterranean Cleanup Initiative basically means and your advice for the participants. So one last quick question that I think that most of the participants will have as well is what advice, what tips would you give to them, to those that are going to travel to Mindspace trip in the USA so as to make the most out of it?
I would advise them to ask as many questions they can. You know, try to be as much active and present in the moment and really discuss with people about their ideas or their thoughts or their fears. This is something that really helped me. Like, we hadn't started Mediterranean Cleanup back then when we went to New York, but you know, I spoke with the people there and I told them, you know, guys, we have the fishing school project, but we have this idea that, you know, to persuade the fishermen to collect plastic from the sea, but we are afraid to do that. And they said, okay, just do it. They just advised us to go on with that. So really talk about, you know, anything, ask these people and keep these connections for the future. I think it will be a valuable experience. And also, I think you'll realize that as Greeks, we don't differ so much from the successful startups of the New York and Boston area. The difference is their mindset, and their mindset is that it's okay to, you know, to try and fail if you learn from your mistakes. So that was really also a very, very big learning.
Thank you so much, Lefteris, Mary, everyone. I'm very excited that we have with us today Mr. Jeffrey Pyatt, the United States Ambassador to Greece. It would just be impossible for Mindspace to provide this whole program to so many students for free without the support of the United States Embassy. So now I don't want to prolong the suspense, so let's see which three teams really stood out. So starting with the third place, I remind that the third place team receives an invitation to join the ACEN Accelerator of the Athens University of Economics and Business. And one member of the team can join Mindspace trip to the US for free. So, Mr. Ambassador. Oh, I think you are on mute.
Get that right eventually. Thanks, Dimitri. Let me say, I will have some remarks to offer at the end, but at this point, let me just say thank you especially to all of our judges for supporting this fantastic project. And it was really nice to spend some time with all of you. And I'm very honored to announce that this year's third place team is Endeavour Analytics.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, Endeavour Analytics. And the second place team will also receive an invitation for ACEN, and one of its members joins Mindspace trip for free. Plus, one more member of that team gets 20% discount to join the Mindspace trip if they wish. Mr. Ambassador?
So second place is Igem.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Singharatiria.
Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, Mr. Payat.
Congratulations, Alex and team. And now for the first place. The winning team will receive a grant of 10,000 euros by the People's Trust, and one of its members can join Mindspace trip for free. Yeah. Mr. Ambassador.
Fantastic. Thanks, Dimitri. I'm really proud to announce that the first place team is Eggcell. Congratulations, you guys.
You're on mute and we didn't hear you scream.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
We would like to thank Mindspace and Greek Energy Forum for supporting young people towards their first steps into entrepreneurship. And it's been an honor and a privilege as we were given stimuli and guidance from experienced professionals throughout the event. And believing in us means that the problem of global warming that we used to hide under the rug gets the attention it deserves. That's where our next steps are focused on.
So, Mr. Ambassador, if you could kindly share with us, we would love to hear your thoughts as closing remarks of this evening.
Great. Thanks, Dimitri. And again, thank you to the judges, all the partners that have supported this enterprise. And let me say just what a fantastic opportunity is for me to celebrate with all of you the hard work that the teams have put in to get to this point, and to do so at a moment when the Greek startup scene is really attracting global notice. And having watched this process now for more than 4 years, it's really fantastic to see all of this. I want to start by thanking Dimitri for everything that you do with Mindspace. Dimitri, as I think many of you guys know, is an alumnus of International Visitors Program that the embassy supported in 2017, focusing on social and economic entrepreneurship for young leaders. And it's really encouraging for me, having been there at the beginning, Dimitri, to see what you and the program have grown into. It's just a fantastic example of what young people in Greece can accomplish. And I'm proud to say that the embassy has been supporting Mindspace since 2015. And we're especially excited now to see it beginning to establish chapters all over Greece and the Balkans. I was really impressed when the team told me that just between 2017 and 19, Mindspace alumni have started 16 new businesses, employing nearly 100 people, which is what this program is all about, helping to facilitate growth and the next phase of the Greek economy. And just as we hoped from the very beginning, Mindspace alumni are boosting Greece's economy and are harnessing the fantastic human capital that I've seen from the first days of my arrival here in 2016. I also want to thank again all of our partners, the MIT Enterprise Forum. Marina, we'll get you back here live in person at some point. MIT, the Athens University of Economics and Business for their investments in Greece's next generation workforce, and all of your commitment to helping to spread the entrepreneurial mindset that I truly believe is going to transform the Greek economy in the years ahead, creating new businesses and new opportunities. I also want to say a quick word, Dimitri, again, congratulating Mindspace for your move into North Macedonia and the way in which you've been offering students there access to your accelerator program run with the Athens University of Economics and Business. I think these kinds of regional programs serve two objectives. First of all, they help to give critical mass to this wider region of 30 million people in Greece and the Western Balkans, but they also help to build bridges of stability and prosperity, strengthening the cooperation between Athens and Washington, D.C. in the energy and technology areas. And so the focus of this year's Mindspace competition could not fit better with what we've been doing at the embassy, both in terms of energy and in terms of digital technology, the sectors where our cooperation is really flourishing. As you all know, there's a long list of American companies that have started to make significant investments in Greece's digital economy. Microsoft Digital Realty, Pfizer, Cisco, Deloitte, Amazon Web Services, Applied Materials. These are all companies that have recognized the opportunities that Greece represents and are really helping to put Greece on the international map, and especially the European map, as a regional hub for innovation and technology. And I'm convinced we're just at the beginning of that process. Energy cooperation, the other side of this year's program, is one of the real bright spots of US-Greece relations. And especially now with President Biden's decision to bring the United States back into the Paris Agreement, I'm confident that we're going to accelerate our partnership on a green agenda to help the Prime Minister and the Greek government meet Greece's ambitious goal of reducing carbon emissions, closing lignite power plants by 2028. We already do a lot together, but I think you're going to see even more, especially in the renewable sectors, areas like wind, solar, and storage, and smart grids, which you guys have been talking about, where American companies lead the world. And I think these are just some of the opportunities now to build on the progress that I've seen over the past 4.5 years in US-Greece relations with the new Biden administration. We're very excited about the Greek bicentennial this year in 2021, and we look forward to working with the Greece 2021 committee, both to commemorate this 200-year anniversary, but also look at how we can work together to shape Greece's future. We believe in you. We're committed to helping you to open pathways to your success. And that's why, as part of our bicentennial celebrations, we're going to fund a virtual entrepreneurship mentoring program called Connect the Dots in partnership with the Hellenic Initiative in the United States. This is a project that will give Greek entrepreneurs like you the opportunity to be mentored by successful Greek American business leaders. So more to come on that. The United States has been Greece's friend and partner for 200 years. We're going to continue down that road. We're going to continue to support groups like Mindspace that invest in the creativity and vision of young Greeks like yourselves. And make no mistake, the future of the Greek economy depends on your skills, your ideas, your resilience, and your apparent entrepreneurial spirit. So we're with you. I'm very excited to watch what all of you do and what happens with your ideas. And thank you for bringing your game face, your best, to this year's competition. I hope you're going to be able to take the opportunity to connect with other teams. And I wish all of you the very best in your future pursuits. So congratulations and singharatiriya to everybody. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Ambassador, for your insights. And in general, we are very grateful for the support that we always receive from the US Embassy in Athens. It's very important for us. Once again, we would also like to thank our partners in this program, the People's Trust, Greek Energy Forum, Consulate General of Greece in San Francisco, Eaton Group, and Eurobank. Also, we would like to thank very much Mindspace volunteers that helped us a lot during this program. Without them, nothing of this would have happened. And special thanks to Kyriaki and Antigoni, who are Operations Associates in Mindspace, as well as Lida Haritonidi and John Kordos, who also helped really much in this program. I would also like to thank very much all the teams and all the participants that attended this program. I can assure that they worked really hard. They were attending with really hard work this program, eager to learn more. Congratulations to Team Excel, Team Igem, Thrace, and Team Endeavour Analytics. And I think that the best are here, and there more are yet to come, because we will continue basically doing programs like Mindspace University to empower university students become more entrepreneurial. So thank you very much all for attending this event. I hope you have a nice afternoon and a great Saturday and Sunday. So thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody.
Enjoy your evening.
Congratulations.